Because they're on special one morning.
Oh, God.
I bought two.
Yeah.
And I just wanted a cold drink, so that was the one I just got out.
Those things make my heart palpitate. I suppose you drink coffee, though, and I don't either, so that would make sense.
Yes.
All right, so I'm all set on my side.
All right.
And then go over to you.
So I can go live.
Mm-hmm.
I can look on here. It says we're live for 3 seconds.
Ooh, I need to turn everything down.
Get out of that one, go back into that one. Where are we? There we are. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Yep. Hi, everybody. Welcome to show 281 Aussie Mac Zone. We've snuck in a little bit early this week and maybe the same again next week. Maybe even earlier. Don't know yet. We'll talk about that later. With young Zarn. How are you?
I'm fantastic, Michael. Good Monday evening to you.
Yes. Good Monday evening to you. Good weekend?
Yes. Had a great weekend. Very quiet.
Yeah.
It was
nice
lovely.
and relaxing. Yeah. Yeah, so did we. Tonight, brought to you by IT Helps You and Aussie Tech Heads Podcasting. Now, our Aussie Apple ramblings this week. So, we've had a HomeKit issue after the update. This occurred to me and others after the last iOS update. My automation stopped running. In other words, at sunset, turn on these lights, or at this time, turn on this switch for an hour. Now, I don't know why it happened or what, but to resolve it, the answer was to go in and change each automation by, say, a minute. So turn on switch at 10:59 instead of 11 o'clock. Or change the brightness, turn on main light to 51% at sunset, and then click done for each automation. I know it's a bit annoying, but it saves rewriting them from scratch. And that cured all of my problems.
Okay.
Yeah, which was great. It wasn't too hard to fix. Now, another issue after a recent macOS Mojave update, pop-ups are automatically blocked in Safari. Better put in Safari in the notes. Yes, sorry. But it doesn't always tell you. An example is the I am not a robot button on many websites these days.
Yep.
Where you click that and then you've got to go in and pick different pictures.
Yep.
It just fails as a missed login. So after you get to 3 failures,
Yep.
then you get locked out for, say, 20 minutes.
Oh, I did that the other day, actually.
Yeah.
And I just had to click it and then press submit, and it just wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, and it's probably because the pop-up was there, but it just wasn't telling you it wasn't allowing pop-ups.
Ah.
So,
Well, there you go.
In Safari and Mojave,
Yep.
Definitely a pain in the neck. Yep.
Oh.
Just you can go in and set it for each site.
Yep.
Sometimes it remembers it, sometimes it doesn't. Even for Apple sites, it doesn't always remember.
Okay.
So, yeah.
There you go. I learned something. And
Oh,
so did the listeners.
Well, we all learned something this week, that's for sure.
Yep.
Now, Apple adds a new confirmed subscription step for in-app app subscription sign-ups in iOS. So 9to5Mac informs us, seemingly in an effort to combat the ongoing problem of accidental app store subscriptions, Apple has added an extra step to the subscription process in the App Store. Apple will now present users with a confirmed subscription pop-up before finalising the details. This change was first noted by developer David Barnard on Twitter, starting sometime in the last week. Apple has added an additional step to the subscription process. After you authenticate via Touch ID or Face ID, you'll see a pop-up asking you to confirm your subscription. The subscription will continue unless cancelled in settings at least 1 day before a subscription ends. That's what it tells you on the screen.
Yep.
Now, accidental subscription sign-ups have been a major problem, especially for users with Touch ID iPhones. Essentially, users would see a subscription pop up and immediately press the home button to try and exit the app. When they place their finger on the home button, Touch ID would instead authenticate, signing users up for the subscription. Apple has taken several steps to counteract problems with hidden and devious subscriptions in iOS apps. Earlier this year, the company revamped documentation for app subscriptions, explaining that app developers must clearly present the subscription price and other details. So, yeah, watch that on your Touch ID.
Yeah.
Now, what about iPhone assembler Foxconn and other suppliers? This is with the picture. Pledged to use 100% renewable energy for Apple production. Mac Rumors informs us Apple this week announced it has nearly doubled the number of suppliers that have committed to run their Apple-specific production on 100% renewable energy, bringing the total number to 44. Now, the list of newly committed suppliers, including, among others, Gorilla Glass maker Corning, Face ID provider Finisar, A-series chip maker TSMC, Apple Watch manufacturer Quanta Computers, AirPods assembler Luxshare, iPhone assemblers Foxconn, Pegatron, and Wistron. Now, Apple now expects to add 5 gigawatts of renewable energy to its supply chain by 2020, exceeding its goal of 4 gigawatts in that time frame. Apple says that manufacturing makes up 74% of its carbon footprint. To address this, Apple and its suppliers have invested in our procure a mix of clean energy technology, including wind and solar.
Excellent.
Sorry, have invested in or procured a mix of. Apple has also further expanded its supplier education and support initiatives. Apple also announced that it has allocated all of its $2.5 billion in green bonds, the largest amount of any US corporation. Through this, the company has contributed to 40 environmental initiatives around the world, including projects Apple has created to cover its entire electricity load. Apple's green bonds also support environmental research and innovation. Projects include solar rooftops in Japan, an aquifer to conserve water in Oregon, and the creation of a custom alloy made of 100% recycled aluminium that is now found in the latest MacBook Air and Mac Mini.
Excellent.
Now, it is 100% recycled aluminium from the bits they machine out of MacBook Pros, for example.
So they're reusing the aluminium that they... So they're not... So they're buying aluminium and they're not wasting any of it. They're reusing everything they buy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool, isn't it?
Mm.
Now, a year ago, Apple announced that its
Fantastic.
global facilities, including retail stores, offices, and data centers, are now powered by 100% renewable energy. So, if only our governments around the world would commit to the same thing, we'd be a lot better off in the long run.
Yes.
Seriously, a lot better off.
So much better.
This week, brought to you by IT Help to You, a great little Aussie Mac company, Apple company, just there to help Apple people. That's all they do, really. The other reason we help Windows peoples are basically they might have one Windows machine and 10 Macs for some particular reason, one bit of old software or something that they need to run. So, yeah, ithelptoyou.com.au.
Excellent.
Now, here's a bit of a challenge. Thousands of Amazon employees listen to Alexa requests for improvement purposes. You think, oh, beauty. They're improving Alexa so that when you say, Alexa, turn on the stove, it turns on the stove. Or when you say, go and get me a beer, she'll go and get you a beer or whatever. But
Yeah.
Amazon has thousands of employees around the world that listen to voice recordings captured in the homes of Amazon Echo owners, reports Bloomberg. Voice recordings are captured when the Alexa wake word is spoken, and then a subset of those recordings are listened to, transcribed, annotated, and added back into the software as part of Amazon's effort to help Alexa better respond to voice commands.
Yep.
Amazon has facilities for Alexa improvement in places that range from Boston, Costa Rica, India, and Romania. Now, 7 people familiar with Amazon's review process spoke to Bloomberg and revealed some insider details on the program that may be concerning to Echo users. While much of the work has been described as mundane, employees have sometimes come across more private recordings, such as a woman singing off key in the shower or a child screaming for help.
Oh, my goodness.
Amazon employees have internal chat rooms where they share files when help is needed, passing a word, or more concerning, when an amusing recording is found. 2 workers told Bloomberg that they have heard recordings that are upsetting or potentially criminal. And while Amazon claims to have procedures in place for such occurrences, some employees have been told it's not the company's job to interfere. Alexa users have the option to disable the use of their voice recordings for improvements to the service, but some may not know that these options exist. Amazon also does not make it clear that actual people are listening to the recordings. According to Bloomberg, recordings sent to employees who work on Alexa don't include a user's full name or address, but an account number, first name, the device's serial number associated with the recording. In a statement to Bloomberg, Amazon said that an extremely small number of Alexa voice recordings are annotated and that there are measures in place to protect the user identity. But so if you do own any of that equipment, please keep it in mind or go in and turn it off, please.
I just start asking really incriminating questions.
Yes.
Just to mess with
it. Echo, how do I break into the Australian Mint?
That's right. What is the best way to kill our Prime Minister?
How much will it cost to get him to do that job? Now, back onto our gaming section, young Zarn.
Yes.
Apple Gaming.
Apple Gaming. So, where can I start? So, earlier this week, they was it 9 to 5 Mac? Had some news coming out saying that Mac have spent, where was it? Here it is. Around, or a little bit over $500 million in development in these 100 games that are going to be dropped. So they have dropped 30 games now, or they're not, because they're not available, but they're letting you know when you're first available. There is 30 games now that they're talking about. I guess I said again, they've spent, well, here it says, who knew Apple has such deep pockets? The company is reportedly spending billions of dollars a year on Apple TV Plus original content. Will pay around $480 million to the texture, which ultimately becomes News Plus, and is reportedly also spending several $1 million per game. So that's a big cost.
Yep.
That's the same sort of money that we're looking at, with PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. They're spending tens of $1 million per game, up to 7, that sort of thing.
Yep.
And so, and this is cross-platform. You know, so you're not just going to be able to play it on your phone. You're not just be able to play it on your iPad. You're not just going to be able to play it on your Mac. You know,
Apple TV.
Yeah, your Apple TV. This is right across all your devices. So it's really great. You can go from one to the other. So they've really done their research. They've really put the money. They clearly want this to work properly.
Yes.
And so I've been looking at some of the games they're coming out with. Number one this week is Lego Brawl.
Yeah.
Just because it's Lego. Like, all the Lego games, they're really fun. They're normally pretty colourful and silly, but they can be a bit mature. Lego Brawl is just that. It's a brawl. You know, you get weapons. You can, really sort of spruce up your avatar or whatever you want to call it. And it's a 2D platformer, and it's just a fun game. And with Lego, it always is just a fun game. So, yeah, I can't wait for that one. Number two is called Repair. Really sort of spruce up your
Repair.
Avatar. Where's that coming from?
What was it?
Echo.
Yeah, that might have been. Oh no, it shouldn't have been me. But anyway, go.
Yep, sorry.
Might have been me. Yeah.
Sorry. So number two is Repair. There's not much known about this game, but it is done by Us Two Games, which have had a really good run in the past with their games. They're not a bad, programming, company and stuff like that. So if it's anything like the games they've done before, even though we don't know much about Repair, I would say this is going to be pretty good. And final one is Oceanhorn 2. Now, Oceanhorn 2 is a Zelda-like game.
Mm-hmm.
And, this one is set 1,000 years before the first one that came out. It's a similar storyline, everything like that. It's that whole challenge, make your way through, kill the bad guys. You get to, baddie, you fight the baddie, that sort of thing. But who doesn't like Zelda? This isn't Zelda. It's like Zelda, but I sort of make that clear. But I love those games. I have since, sort of 1984.
Since Zelda.
Yeah, that's right. When I had a NES and I was a wee tacker. So that's what I have for is this week. There'll be more news about how much money has been spent, where it's been spent. 3 more games next week to review. And any news I can find about this, I will give to you week to week.
Excellent.
Thanks, Michael.
It's a big thing coming, so yeah.
It is. It's massive. I'm really excited about it, actually. Like them spending this sort of money on a gaming platform that can go from device to device.
Yeah,
is honestly competing with the bigger gaming companies.
Yep.
So I really can't wait. I want to see what they've got to offer. So
there's already probably more devices out there than there are game stations.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a big opportunity there.
Yeah, there is.
Big opportunity.
Yep. Even PC gamers. You know, this is it. Like, you can now game on your Mac if you want to.
Yeah.
So it's cool. All right.
Okay, so some more. Disney CEO says Disney Plus, wonder where he got that name from, likely coming to Apple TV and intends to stay on Apple board. So Apple Insider reports Bob Iger revealed the launch strategy in an interview with Bloomberg shortly after he and other Disney executives revealed plans for Disney Plus during an investor event at the company's California headquarters. At the keynote, Disney specifically mentioned deals with Roku and Sony that will deliver Disney Plus to set-top boxes, smart TVs, and PlayStation, but failed to present an exhaustive list of platforms that will support the Disney Plus app. Iger clarified the issue in the interview. The app will in all likelihood be available through traditional app distributors, Apple being one of them, Iger said. So I'm fairly certain that if people want to buy the app, subscribe to the app is probably a better way to put it, they'll be able to do so through Apple and the iTunes store. Now, while not explicit admission that Disney Plus will be made available on Apple TVs as a tvOS app, the statement suggests Disney has no issue with the marketing the service on Apple's branded set-top box, and doing so would subject Disney to Apple's customary 30% revenue sharing and 15% for subscriptions lasting longer than a year, and put it on a platform owned and marketed by a competitor, as Apple plans to launch its own TV service this fall. Now, the price for the Disney service, it's launching in November and is US $6.99 a month. So that makes it $10 a month out here, assuming that we're going to get it.
Yep.
And that is after the expected Apple TV Plus release.
Yep.
Yeah, so, it'd be interesting. Let's hope we get it out here. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
A good family thing.
It is. Well, they've got Disney on Stan at the moment.
Yeah.
So you can watch all your Marvel and all your Disney movies and your cartoons and things like that. So I'm guessing they did announce that they were going to do this Disney streaming system. So hopefully we do get it. That'd be great. Absolutely.
Now, don't forget, this week we are brought to you by Aussie Tech Heads Podcasting. Now, one of the things on Aussie Tech Heads Podcasting that's created is Aussie Tech Radio, where you got Aussie Tech Heads, you got Aussie Mac Zone, you got Old Fart Geeks, Two Blokes Talking Tech, or Your Tech Life with Trevor Long, Vertical Hold, Apple Slice, Geeks Interrupted, just to name a few of them. Now that plays 24/7, gets updated every Friday with new shows, and certainly worth a listen in the background.
Absolutely.
But if you want to become a supporter of Aussie Mac Zone, just send something to marketing@aussiemaczone.com.au and we will get in touch and we will talk to you about being a supporter.
Excellent.
And I promise you, it doesn't cost much to be a supporter on one of our shows, all of our shows. We can all discuss that. So if you would like to be a supporter, please, marketing@aussiemaczone.com.au.
Excellent.
Yes. Now, what about Foxconn's assembly of iPhone 10 in India to start in July? Again, from Apple Insider, Foxconn will be commencing commercial production of the iPhone X or iPhone 10 in India from July, according to a report, with manufacturing of the high specification model following the iPhone SE, the iPhone 6S, and iPhone 7 in being assembled for the local market to save on import fees. Now, while the iPhone 10 would be the newest device in terms of Apple releases to be made in India, the effort may not just stop there. Anonymous official claims the plans is to step up production capacity and diversify to even higher models going forward. Awesome. So that, yeah. And we know Foxconn are building plants there and in Brazil still too. So,
oh, wow.
Now, what about this? This is pretty cool too for diversification. Apple Music finally comes to Amazon Alexa with new skill update. Now, UK's independent paper reports Amazon has brought Apple Music to Alexa smart speakers for the first time in the UK. The feature was already available in the US, but is slowly rolling out across the world. It means that people are no longer limited to only to Amazon Music and Spotify as ways for Alexa to play music. Apple Music will work like those same services, allowing people to ask for a song or radio station and have it play from Apple Music. The decision to allow Alexa to accept Apple Music marks a major change in strategy for Apple, which once fiercely protected the fact that generally only its own products could access its online services. In recent times, however, the company has become more open as it has focused on generating service revenue as a new strategy. though it has been available on other platforms such as Android and even other smartphone speakers like Sonos systems. The tie-up with Alexa makes it the first time that Apple Music songs can be requested using a voice assistant that isn't Siri. Just remember, they might be listening. Yeah, you can see the people back in wherever saying, "Oh, he's not listening to that crap song again, is he? I wish he'd put something that I like. Don't worry about what you like."
So good. I just imagine. Oh, I would make fun of so many people and their music choices if I was those guys.
Geez, we're going to get into trouble. That's why we're not those guys, right?
That's right. Imagine, sort of listening, say, you're in one of those places and you're listening to Here in Australia, for instance, and we're like, oh, play Kevin Bloody Wilson.
Yeah. Shut up to your face.
I know. Even a horror movie, Skyhooks or something like that,
What the hell is that crap he's playing again?
Yeah. I'm a big Midnight Oil fan. They wouldn't know what the hell was going on with that. What are they doing to these native people over there? Oh, dear.
Yes. We'll change the subject.
All right.
Here's some really spectacular news.
On some other news, I'm going for a job at I can't even say it. I'm done. Go.
Here's some spectacular Optus news. Optus announces eSIM support for iPhone.
Yay!
Now, Optus has rather quietly officially announced eSIM support for iPhone, making them the first telco carrier in Australia to do so. Yippee!
Well done, Optus.
That's right.
Though your service in my area is garbage.
But we're proud of you.
Yeah, sure. Let's say that.
Allowing existing, new, or recontracting postpaid.
They're watching.
Sorry about that noise. That was my alarm going off, even though it's on silent. Allowing existing, new, or recontracting postpaid mobile customers with an eligible iPhone to sign up to a plan using eSIM technology. As Optus points out on their website, this will enable you to make and receive calls from two different mobile numbers, all without the need to swap SIMs or phones. Possible because the newest iPhones, the iPhone XS, XS Max, and iPhone, XR support dual SIM with an eSIM. In other words, they have a slot for a physical SIM card and have an embedded SIM inside. Now, at the time,
excellent.
It is. At the time of writing, Optus is supporting eSIM with postpaid SIM-only plans.
Yep.
And with no support for prepaid at this stage.
Yeah, that's okay, though.
Yep. Quite happy to roll with that at the moment.
Yep.
Now, to sign up, you'll need to get an eSIM QR code to activate the eSIM and an eligible iPhone model running iOS 12.2 or newer. Now, Optus states these are only available in stores.
Yep.
So that we're talking about the QR code.
Yep.
Selected stores will start to stock the QRs from March 27, and all stores should have stock by April 12. So everybody should have one now.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So have you got the phone yet, or
no,
are you going to get one now?
I'm very shortly. I plan on getting my 10R to try, I think.
Excellent.
We've got this.
Kellyanne's watching. Hi, Kellyanne.
Hello, Kellyanne.
So on live internet television, I just want to know what you're going to do with your iPhone 6. Because I need a new phone.
Probably sell it to Zarn.
Oh, awesome. Ha, Kel.
Now, how to activate and so you sign up, you get your QR code. Once you have the QR code, you go into settings, tap either cellular or mobile data, add the cellular plan and use their iPhone, use your iPhone
Yep.
to scan the QR code, and then it should be there. Now, that whole story came from MacPricesAustralia.com.
Yep.
But one thing that, and I'm glad they found it. Like, as I said,
Yes.
they were the first people to I only read it on the weekend. Even I asked Optus Media and they haven't sent me a thing saying, "Oh, we're releasing it."
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, you got any more stories? 'Cause I've got one really good one at the end. But
right.
you got anything? Nothing at all.
No, I've read everything. I've said everything about the games and the money. I'm gonna save everything else for next week. So please give us your amazing story.
So, lastly, Gizmodo reports Aussie finds way to get free McDonald's burgers. Now, this may have been resolved by now because it was in Apple News last week.
Yep.
And perhaps one of the most Australian things to ever happen, some blokes have worked out how to get free Macca's hamburgers. The trick involves exploiting a bug in McDonald's self-ordering system that makes $1 burgers drop down to minus 10 cents.
Does that mean they have to pay to take the burger?
Just about. So we all know these new... I went to McDonald's today to get something.
A free hamburger, clearly.
The girl sent me... Like, I'm standing at one cash register. She said, "Oh, can you go over there and order?" So I went over there, and then he said, "Can you go and use the order machine?" I said, "You don't want my money anymore? See you later." Walked out.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah. So what happens is those who successfully try this are doing it by adding the hamburger to an order and then customizing it to remove the meat patty. This subsequently drops the price down. Now, the posts have appeared in the R Australia subreddit and include video of the perpetrators pulling off the scam.
Yep.
For anyone wondering what the point of a pattyless Macca's burger is, one Redditor took things a step further. As you can see in the video, which is on the Apple News site, this bloke and his mates added 10 $1 burgers to their order and customised all of them with the above hack, which brought the total to minus $1. They then added a separate $1 burger to the order without customising it, which brought the total to $0. Boom, free burger. So you just walk up with your order. The people on the cash, like, there aren't people on cash registers anymore. They're just looking at that screen in the middle.
That's right. And they just hand you your food
and go, $1.74 burger. Thank you. See you later.
Well,
Good on them.
But will they then give you the other 10 that don't have the meat on it? Or do they remove those afterwards? Because I don't want 10 buns.
Bad enough.
Already got too many chins.
So yeah, there you go. So yeah, on the if you go to Reddit,
yep,
look for r/Australia subreddit and look up, and you can do that all on Apple News, where I posted about the put Yes Optus up there and highlighted that we have eSIMs available now. That went straight up as soon as I found it. Put it straight up, copying everything from Mac Prices Australia's site, putting a link to their site. So yeah, now don't forget we've got the show next link each week on our show upload. The link being aussiemac-zone-episode-281 for this week. And you'll see 5-week show notes there. Spotify, just search for Aussie Mac Zone. Apple News, find Aussie Mac Zone, and then just hit the heart to favourite us, and then it'll just come up in your list of things that you want to get news from. So as soon as I drop in the eSIM, for example, you'll see it.
Yep.
Don't forget, thanks to our sponsors, Aussie Tech Heads Podcasting and IT Help to You, or you could be your company that we're talking about right here at the end.
That's right.
And don't forget, most important people are our supporters, you, our listeners. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the listeners, and thank you. Calypso is also watching at the moment, or she was. So
yeah, excellent.
Hi, Calypso.
Hi, Calypso. Yep. And Zarn, over to you.
Excellent. Thanks, Michael. Well, yeah, thanks everyone for another fantastic Monday night.
Yes.
Remember, an apple a day keeps the androids away. See you guys.
Thank you.